Eva will still be alive and my baby will still be dead, and it's not fair.
You don't have to worry. I'm gonna take care of Ava.
So I'm asking you, this request of Christina's, you aren't gonna do it, are you? And I am telling you that you cannot do what she asked, because if Ava dies or disappears or whatever euphemism applies here, you will leave a forever mark on her soul.
Let's talk about Cameron Matheson. Honestly, it might be time for GH to write him off. His character, Drew, is coming across as increasingly creepy, and I think he'd be better suited sticking to game shows or making movies for GAF or Hallmark. Now, let's address the situation with Christina. Technically, the baby in question is Christina's, considering it was her egg. There wasn't a signed agreement, so the dynamics are a bit murky. Molly and TJ are coming off as terrible right now, with TJ being overly controlling and judgmental. Surrogates can become attached and change their minds, so their reaction is a bit out of touch with reality. As for the Ava and Christina situation, whether or not Ava physically touched Christina doesn't change the fact that it opened up a lot of drama. Ava and Kate's need to face consequences for their actions. It seems like I'm in the minority here, but I think the focus should be on the wrongdoings of Ava, Valentine, and Kate's, rather than being overly harsh on Christina. Christina's repeated references to my baby, instead of acknowledging it as TJ and Molly's child, are getting really frustrating. This baby was meant to be their child, not hers. It's clear Christina is deeply affected by this situation, but her focus on revenge and anger is overshadowing the pain and blame she might feel for seeing Ava. Christina is increasingly mirroring her father, Sonny, in her emotional reactions. It's almost as if Molly and TJ are being overshadowed in this whole mess. Remember, this was supposed to be their child too. Christina's obsession with referring to the baby as hers, rather than acknowledging TJ and Molly's role, is unsettling. Has Christina even shared what happened in Ava's hotel room before she fell through the window? The PCPD should definitely be getting her statement to build a case against Ava. As a huge Maurice Benard fan, I've got to say that while Sonny's a fantastic character, it's frustrating that people often overlook Sonny's past mistakes, like killing AJ or switching Morgan's meds. The focus on Ava's actions needs to be balanced with a fair look at Sonny's actions as well. Christina is grieving, but so are Molly and TJ. The situation has been mishandled all around. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. It's clear Christina is morphing into her father, Sonny. She's adopting his mindset, becoming increasingly self-centered, and showing little compassion for Molly. Christina's belief that the baby was solely hers, despite the lack of a signed agreement, reflects her growing alignment with Sonny's more ruthless side. It's intriguing to see Christina embrace this darker side. She's essentially following in her father's footsteps, and this shift could potentially position her to take over Sonny's business in the future. Ava should definitely be wary. Technically, the baby was Christina's, her egg was used, and surrogates can change their minds. This situation is a tough one for everyone involved. I'd have preferred seeing a custody battle instead of the current drama, especially if it led to Molly and TJ finally getting their first baby. As Molly feared, this whole situation has become all about Christina. The grief of the parents who were supposed to have the baby is being overshadowed by Christina's demands and claims. Christina's insistence on calling the baby my baby instead of acknowledging Molly and TJ's role is incredibly frustrating. Christina's mindset is eerily similar to Sonny's. It's disappointing to see her encouraging him to seek vengeance when Ava didn't even physically push her out the window. Christina's actions, including her decision to confront Ava and the subsequent altercation that led to her falling out the window, are a direct result of her own choices. The situation has spiraled into a messy scenario that could have been avoided with better judgment. Ava deserves to face consequences, but not necessarily at the hands of Sunny. Christina's visit to Eva's room was motivated by her desire to confront Ava about the subpoena and its implications for her father, Sunny. The incident, including Christina tripping over Jagger's bag, resulted from a chaotic confrontation that might have been prevented. As for Avery, she deserves to be with someone who truly cares for her. Carly has a strong bond with Avery and would be a better guardian. Carly loves Avery deeply, and Avery has a close relationship with Donna, making Carly a great choice for her care. Christina's journey has been shocking. She was horrified when she saw Sunny violently attacking Dex, and was deeply afraid of what her father is capable of. Yet now, she's turning to Sunny to handle Ava in the same brutal fashion. It's a stark contrast to her mother Alexis, who prefers to deal with things through legal means. It's disappointing to see that many characters, like Alexis, Laura, Portia, Anna, John Cates, and Joss, are quick to denounce Sunny until they need something handled or want to protect their loved ones. These characters have all committed questionable acts and allowed criminals to escape justice. It's a troubling pattern. The show had been hinting at Christina becoming a darker version of Sunny, so her current behavior isn't entirely surprising. I was also grossed out by Drew's inappropriate behavior with Willow and then Nina inviting him over for dinner. That subplot is just awkward and uncomfortable. On a positive note, Heather is doing a fantastic job. Her performance is compelling as she navigates her character's conflicted emotions. Despite my concerns that she might revert to the dark side, her role is being portrayed with real depth. Christina's attempts to shift blame onto Ava for the baby's death are troubling. It feels like another storyline where Ava is demonized while Sunny is portrayed as a saint. Christina's actions, including her decision to confront Ava, are part of the reason the baby's death is so tragic. Her lack of compassion for Molly and the way this storyline is unfolding is frustrating. This storyline is becoming increasingly hard to watch. First, we had Sasha's heartbreaking loss, and now Christina's tragic storyline is piling on the misery. There's enough violence and negativity in the world. We could use some lighthearted, positive storylines instead. The show had finally made Christina somewhat likable, but now she's become difficult to empathize with. She was carrying the baby for her sister, put the baby in danger by confronting Ava, and has shown no compassion for Molly. It's time for a change. This storyline needs to move forward. I can definitely understand where Christina and Sunny are coming from. Their reactions make sense. Alexis made some valid points in her conversation with Sunny, and maybe something she said resonated with him. But if Alexis weren't a lawyer, I can't help but wonder what she would have done. I imagine she might have stormed off to the PCPD to confront Ava after seeing those pictures. Is Alexis and Sunny's son Christian? Was Christina a surrogate, or was that her baby? Why did she go after Ava? I've just started watching the show again after many years. I remember from 40 years ago when Luke and Laura got married. Was the little girl in the hospital Carly and Sunny's daughter? We're about to dive into months of drama, and I suspect Christina will end up clearing Ava when she realizes it was truly an accident and that Ava tripped over a bag. Her conscience will likely not let her continue the lie. Right now, Christina is blinded by grief, but once things settle down, I'm sure it will all work out. There will be initial revenge, but as with many soap operas, things will get resolved when the storyline shifts. Can someone explain why Michael has those pictures on his phone? Besides Sunny, Jason, and Anna, why did anyone else need to have them? This is an example of lazy writing. Michael didn't need the pictures, but the writers needed someone to send them to Christina. It doesn't make sense for Christina to have them either. All she needed was for Sunny to assure her that Ava would be dealt with. Ava is already in jail for manslaughter and assault. The pictures are proof of her actions. Why does Christina need them? This is another case of lazy writing ruining GH. I'm tired of everyone criticizing Christina for being upset about losing her baby. Yes, she was supposed to give the baby to Molly, but the DNA proved the baby was hers and she carried her. People are dumping on her as if she shouldn't care, but if she didn't, they'd criticize her for that too. Christina and the baby were mother and daughter. And by the way, where is Molly? When Christina is with Molly, she's remorseful and apologetic for losing Molly and TJ's baby. However, when she's with anyone else, she's bitter and angry over losing her baby and wants Ava to pay with her life. It's almost like she has two different personalities. Let's talk about Christina. There's a lot of concern about whether she'll be able to have children again, and that uncertainty could weigh heavily on Sunny's mind. But here's the thing, Molly and TJ are so wrapped up in their careers that they're not fully focused on the idea of having a baby right now. That could spell trouble for their relationship if they're only staying together because of the pressure to have a child. Some viewers are interpreting Christina's repeated use of the phrase, "my baby," as proof that she would have kept the child. But we have to remember, her body didn't know she was just a surrogate, and now her mind has started to believe that the baby was truly hers. We saw a glimpse of guilt toward Molly after the surgery, but now Christina's mind is locked into the belief that my baby was killed. It's a tragic shift, and with the way TJ has been portrayed by the writers, a happy ending was never in the cards. Christina never terminated her parental rights, so technically the baby could be considered hers, which makes this situation even more complicated. And speaking of complications, why isn't Alexis being called out? She referred to the baby as her baby while talking about Christina. If Christina's use of my baby is a problem, then Alexis' wording should be questioned too. This isn't just about trauma, it's about the way these characters are processing an incredibly painful situation. Now, let's move on to Sunny. If he were to kill Ava, can you imagine the fallout? Avery could witness the whole thing and grow up knowing that her sister and father were responsible for her mother's death. That would be a dark twist, but it would also create a bond between Avery and Michael, who already harbors resentment towards Sunny for killing his own father. The implications for these characters are huge. Christina's mindset needs to be addressed. Her continual use of the phrase, "my baby," isn't just a slip of the tongue. It's a sign that, in her mind, the baby was never Molly's or TJ's, but hers. This issue needs to be tackled head-on and soon. On a different note, the Willow and Drew storyline is really cringy, but also oddly accurate. Willow pursued Chase with the same intensity to be with Michael, and as the saying goes, you lose them the way you get them. Michael should be paying attention to this dynamic. Finally, let's talk about some potential twists. Could the original surrogate show up with a baby and a medical emergency? That would definitely shake things up, especially if TJ realizes the child is his. Meanwhile, Michael and Nina might end up hooking up. Carly and Brennan could have a romance. And who knows, maybe Heather will win her lawsuit. Willow and Drew are a prime example of recent GA storylines that seem to drop out of nowhere, lacking build-up or background. Their storyline feels out of place and inconsistent with the characters' histories. It's both baffling and creepy. One mistake Ova made was not reporting immediately that Sunny's medication was tampered with. However, she wasn't the one who did it. Ava's motivation was likely to stay in her daughter's life, using the situation to her advantage. Compare this to Carly, who committed a crime and had Jason and Drew imprisoned for her actions, yet faced minimal consequences. Her brief jail time was almost symbolic, and now there's suddenly new evidence to clear her. Molly and TJ also suffered due to the baby that was supposed to be theirs. We shouldn't make this entire situation about Christina. GH is quickly turning into the Kate Mansi show, but it seems like Maura West's character is being written into a corner. This isn't fair. Poor Christina, dealing with pictures of Ava assaulting her and sending her unborn daughter to her death. It would be great if Ava were finally held accountable so she couldn't hurt anyone else, but Christina is right. Ava always seems to escape justice. Christina keeps repeating, "My baby, my baby." Why can't she once acknowledge the baby as Molly's? Her fixation seems out of control. She has admitted that going to see Ava was her mistake, but there's no mention of Blaze either. Kate needs to stay out of Ava's arrest. He doesn't understand Ava's crimes and wouldn't believe the extent of her wrongdoing. Let's set the record straight. Ava did push Christina on the shoulder. I'm tired of seeing people deny this when it was clearly shown on screen. If Ava hadn't touched Christina, she wouldn't have tripped and fallen. This push has serious consequences, and it's fueling the fire for Sonny. Sonny needs to take action. He let Ava get away with the deaths of Connie and Morgan, and it's clear he's not happy about it. With the mob back in full force, Sonny's focus is on protecting his family, especially Christina, who is his favorite child. Ava's involvement in the baby's death has pushed Sonny to a breaking point. He believes she needs to pay, and Jason might just be the one to help him handle it. The mob is ready to strike, and Christina's tragic loss is only fueling this vendetta. I'm genuinely frustrated with General Hospital for continuously using baby deaths as plot devices. There are so many other ways to create compelling storylines without resorting to such dramatic and tragic themes. The custody battle, which seemed to be the direction we were heading in, would have been much more engaging and satisfying to watch. Instead, we're stuck with Christina blaming Ava and whining about her fall. On a brighter note, the scenes between Sonny and Christina have been fantastic. Maurice Benard and Kate Mansi have incredible chemistry, and their performances have been top-notch this week. I'm excited to see where Christina's story goes from here. She's clearly heading towards a darker path and might be ready to claim her place in the mob. Imagine Christina taking over from Sonny. Female mobsters like Faith, Claudia, and Selena Wu have made their mark, and Christina could follow in their footsteps. Sonny will initially resist this change, wanting the best for his daughter, but Christina could force her way into the role, especially if she takes Ava out in cold blood. That kind of action would seal her transition to the dark side, and Jason could serve as her hitman. Alexis, of course, would be furious. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.